In 1993, the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific, or UNESCO for short, declared the beginning of the Asia-Pacific Decade for Disabled Persons. The proclaimed decade had the goal of
full participation and equality for the disabled people,
and has brought upon waves of conversations on ways to properly and completely integrate disabled persons into society, leading to many welcomed initiatives for PWDs in the physical world.
Tonight, the information superhighway and one of its main thoroughfares, an online network called Internet.
But by the middle of the decade, the rapid development of the Internet and its steadily growing popularity was proving to be too much to ignore. And so, talks quickly shifted towards involving web accessibility for those with disabilities. This newly found focus led to the NCDA Board Resolution No. 13, Series 2008, which deputized the Philippine Web Accessibility Group, or PWAG, to assess the web accessibility of the websites of many participating agencies, as well as to request agencies to comply with web accessibility standards.
As an active member of the United Nations, the Philippines complied with the Declaration of Asia-Pacific Decade for Disabled Persons, which caused an interregional seminar and regional demonstration workshop. The initiative consisted of these key organizations. Firstly, the National Council on Disability Affairs, which is represented as the main body of the government which oversees the entire program and activities held. Next, National Computer Center, which played an important role in coordinating the development of both technical revisions and training manuals. The CICT itself lacked human resources, which led to the deputization of a group called Philippine Web Accessibility Group.
This law was proposed by the National Council of Disability Affairs, the national government agency that formulates policies and coordinates activities regarding disabilities. It was certified by Nilo Jr., Deputy Executive Director of the group.
As mentioned, the PWAG was deputized by the NCDA, which gave them the right to observe and monitor agency websites to determine if they are keeping up with the minimum web accessibility requirements. But what are these minimum requirements? Enter the Manila Accessible ICT Design Recommendations.
The most common adaptation for people who are blind is speech output.
The recommendations presented focus on two key principles that are at the center of accessible web design. Every visual element should be implemented with a textual element that describes it, and two, the structure and layout of the document should be dealt with separately. This is done so that text browsers can easily structure the documents. These principles paved the way for a number of website adjustments that accommodate the needs and preferences of users with disabilities. Examples of these adjustments are 1. Providing an access instruction page for visitors that explain the accessibility features of the website. 2. Attaching descriptive text to graphic images. This is to allow screen readers and other assistive computer technologies to describe the context. 3. Creating alternative methods for presenting online forms for browsers that may not support that feature.
Websites undergo evaluation in accordance with PWAG to evaluate the accessibility of each website. The evaluation consists of two methods: using online automated validation tools and using visual or manual validation. Alongside NCC and NCDA, top-level government agencies that met the recommended minimum online accessibility standards receive awards such as the official website of the Department of Health.
The internet is meant for everyone, be it able or disabled. Information, especially those concerning legal matters and such, are a necessity and as such should be easily accessible to anyone. Keeping government websites up to standards with web accessibility is a must to close the gap between PWDs and non-PWDs.
The government was able to fulfill its duty to recognize all its people, including the disabled.
I believe the board resolution is quite valuable. And I find it amazing that it has allowed PWDs to explore and appreciate the many wonderful aspects of the internet. It has enabled them to fully enjoy all human rights and fundamental freedoms. I am glad that this law has brought organizations and countries together to work towards helping those in need.